Thank you,
Any
Mr. Kesh.
other question?
Thank you for taking my question. Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Any other
Yes, we had a question on agriculture from Antonio in YouTube. Is there an agriculture technology device that is going to be released soon? Not the CO2 gas unit, which can be ordered, or is this one and the same?
No, there's a new units. The whole concentration of the Keshe Foundation at the moment in development has gone on 3 specific projects, and literally we're geared up around the world with it. One is the new enhancement unit. One is the vertical unit, and one is the gas unit. The new gas unit is a generator. We explain that in the future. If what we're working on now, as just spent a few minutes ago with Dean, takes shape in next day or 2 or a week, because now we found out where the block has been after 2 weeks of the struggle, we can get it sorted with our people. Keshe Foundation will run a program of, as I said last week, sharing the technology on what I call a blueprint program, on confirmation of all our things from both governments and knowledge seekers. And this will bring the change. This will bring rapidly the change we're looking for. And Keshe Foundation will not sell this technology. We keep the rights of it, but we share the technology that we get what we call the benefit of it, that we can support other programs of the Keshe Foundation. If we reach the point we want to in the next few days, we will teach you how to make the gas units and how to make the generation of it, how to feed yourself from it, that you never ever in your life need to rely on no one to feed you or cut your gas supply or increase the production of whatever. This is a promise that we'll keep, and this is part of the work of One Nation, One Program. You don't have a social security to feed you or to look after you. We make the knowledge available that secures the social life of the community and the nation as one nation. This is the responsibility of leading such operation and organization like Keshe Foundation. Which means the way you get programs on televisions or whatever in your nation, how to make or how to bake a cake, that if you have it, you can have it, or how to look after yourself in flood condition or disaster, we teach you how to make these units. Those of you who mass produce it, you return funds back to the foundation. Those of you who use it for yourself, still look after the foundation. And this becomes the basis for the next generation of works of the Keshe Foundation. We have to secure what we started, and that was the whole purpose. And in that process, we need to understand the totality of what we are about to do. We have to secure the future of the Keshe Foundation for centuries to come, not for a decade, not for a week. And what we've done in the past 12 months is that security we're looking for. Once we establish that security, we will open the books of the Keshe Foundation in every direction of the knowledge that every nation has an access to it, is governing through technology and the knowledge of the man, and not governing by the banking system and the rest. You know, we've done this before through the enhancement unit. We've done this before through MAGRAP system. We've done this in blueprints. This time, There is no government to stop the Kashmir nation. But this time we have established a center where the world leaders will come to answer for their conducts and how they can participate, how they can bring their nations to be as part of one nation, and what they can serve the humanity with. It's a different ball game. In a very simple way, we start governing. And to govern as one nation, you have to get everything right, that every nation gets exactly the same, that there are no differences. And we see how we extend this. And we see how we can allow this to take shape. We see how we can bring this position apart as part of the Keshe Foundation work. You look at the flight system as somebody moves from one seat to another. We look at the flight system as part of the structure for you to understand, for perfecting the system that our people understand, to bring the seat of the governing to the Keshe Foundation. In the next few months and years, you'll understand exactly how we operated. The cuts, the boycotts, the ban on the internet, what they call it, on the news, has been a beautiful gift to us, that we are doing what we want to do, very silently underneath with the technology and development, but we bring in those who block the knowledge for us in there to become subordinate to the knowledge itself. Will you look at the links, you come in there for whatever transmutation. We look at the links, especially with the tests we've done in the past 2 weeks, that links become the center of the governing of this planet through technology and knowledge. And we are not power hungry, we are peace hungry. And you will understand very soon. As I said yesterday, we did the first trial. The knowledge seeker is here to tell you that we are there, and we brought in for the first man, the most criminal mind on this planet at this moment, to be elevated yesterday by knowledge. This is governed. This is a seat of judgment of the soul of the man to receive, another seat of judgment to punish. Very, very soon, you knowledge seekers realize what I've done and how it's done. And very soon, the world will understand. The best thing for them was to cut us from the mayhem of being on the news every day, that we could allow us to do our work in quiet as knowledge seekers, and bring that change in a very, very quiet way. This is what I call a simmering fire, which is about to become an inferno. But with it, it brings peace, it brings prosperity, it brings the equality of the man, not only here, but across the universe. And you will understand what I've done, even to create so much suffering. As I said to one of the knowledge seekers very soon, they put Christ on the cross. They put me on the banner of trying to see how I can actually burn that cross and bring the knowledge to man correctly. But it's the same man. Last time was a women's rape. This time is the humanity as a whole. But it'll work out. And we'll see the change. Very, very short. You will question the integrity of the soul of the Pope. And then it's the soul which has to dictate what the physicality has to do. Most probably the time will have the soul of the Pope and the Universal Council within the seats of the prince. He will resign and then bring an end to Catholics. We don't need to do it. Otherwise, the enemies have done it. But when you burn from inside, you have no one to blame. We do the same with the kings. Now you understand what I said last week brings to forth this week, because now the test is done. We ask you to become mobile, what we call transmutation. But now we have rules that for the first time, the mobile transmutation are one of the most notorious people on this planet. Now we start bringing the world leaders to answer without them knowing they've been called to the judgment of their own conduct. And a member of the Universal Council are there to do the judgment and elevate. The only judgment is to them, how much can we give them, how much more we have to give them to elevate them to be equal to the others. Now, maybe you understand what is about to hit you as what I call one planet, one nation, one race. You look to move from one box to another. We look to see the test, if we can do, and if we can bring the world leaders into it. Most probably, many of you who've been to this have sat in the seat that many of the world leaders will occupy to their soul in the coming days and weeks. We will not operate on, we all will operate on Tuesday and Wednesdays for you to come in. But the rest of the week is open to us to bring the world leaders to answer to the judgment. Now you understand. Now we understand what is needed and why the Universal Council has been set up that way. Don't be surprised if you're a member of the Universal Council and call you to a meeting, just to be present, because physically you might not understand it, but your soul is there to create that condition. And in a way, we bring the changes to the top, and we have to bring the changes to the other side through what is the daily need, energy, food, and whatever else. Just with a call, pray for us all, support us through your soul, that this blockage we have for past few months gets resolved today and tomorrow and changes the course of the night, because we all have participated. Any other question?
Yes, we have Marinez here next. Go ahead, Marinez.
Hi, Rick. Hello, Mr. Guest. Good
Hello.
morning, sir. Thank you very much. Please be more happy, because sometimes we feel your unhappiness. And
I have a very, very, very bad cold. We tested, it's not corona, but I've suffered heavily the past few days. And it's not easy. But it still has to be done. Things has to be done. Yeah, I'm sad for what the humanity is doing to itself, and in a way we see the joys of the changes to come. The situation in Iran has brought a lot of what they call unwanted feelings, because I went through this when I was 19. I went through a revolution, I went through mass murders. And now I feel the same. People don't believe don't believe in what's going on because they don't show you. But as head of the Keshe Foundation, I receive videos which I do not want to share. I receive pictures of murders, plain brutal murders of the Iran national security, some people. We receive all sorts of news coming out which touches, and that's why the decision was made to bring that change. And we have interacted with the soul of Ayatollah Khamenei. He is not alive, that's for sure. And we have the confirmation of it through the structure. But that's for the Iranians sort of. As I said to some of the people who is giving the orders for these murders, the young, educated, and the rest. We don't take side in the politics. We are not from one side or the other. We are scientists, and we are looking at what we receive. As a head of the Keshe Foundation, everything is filtering up to me. I see the same as the time of Corona. We could see national security videos coming from China where the Chinese wanted us to see how we can support it. 6, 7, 10 children put in one body bag in one hospital. Row after rows of body bags with children in it, which was coming out of Beijing and other cities. We closed our mouths. We watched it. We watched how people were locked up, and they suddenly got videos how they're dying. The family has died in their rooms because of the sealed doors by the government. Now we see the other ways in Iran. I get these, and individually I have to handle it. In a way, I was trained for it during the young time when I was a negotiator between Iran, the British government, and the Iranian community was came from Iran to support. But people say this is all made up. What I see, nothing is made up. When I see youngsters being carried on the shoulder and put on a cycle, and whatever happens to them afterwards, what we see in the new news about a 16-year-old girl. We see these videos before it becomes public, becomes in knowledge. We see videos which comes right across from different knowledge seekers across Iran and outside of Iran. And people, they say, is people paid by foreigners or whatever. The position is, love your nation, nation will change. Don't kill your nation because it rises against you. And it's the same. We have the same problem now in North Korea. We see the sense of this in Russia. We see worse conditions coming up in the United States. But the only way we can change it is not fighting street by street battles between knowledge seekers and the rest, but to change the world leaders, the essence of their souls, the essence of what they want and what we want to achieve. And this brings you a lot of sadness. With the high temperatures and the fever and everything else, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, I keep on receiving from different directions what is happening around the world. And you need a heart of steel to stand this. Because every man fallen has a child, is a father, and is a son to somebody. And a mother and a husband to somebody else, or a wife to someone else. These things has to stop. If we bring the end of Islam, we are Americans, we are Zionists, we are foreigners. But if we support them, can you close your phone, please? If we support their souls to elevate, they can bring the end themselves to it without anybody's support. And that's the whole purpose. And that's why I brought everything forward so fast. In the coming weeks, I'll be spending a lot of time in the exhibition center with the systems to change only the world leaders and nothing else. To elevate them. I will call upon you as Universal Council members and the supporters of Universal Councils of the human nation to come in to answer the question and elevate your leaders. as Italians wait very soon with the call coming up on you. You have two responsibilities. One is for the Vatican and one for your new leader, your new prime minister. We don't want sentimentality. We want that was pure and can elevate the soul of the world. You should have seen what I saw in the system yesterday and the day before with the Dutch lady. How pain could be becoming a joy to give to elevate another man who was a murderer. And then you know why you get sometimes sad. It's just finding a solution for it. Keshe Foundation is not just a factory that ends, it's the whole of humanity and what has brought us. Plus all our private life and everything else which goes on the people who are around us. Any other question?
No, I haven't asked my question.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with us your mind. Thank you very much. That's the history. It's a motive. Like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, I proposed to UCS meeting and some UCs that we absolutely have to have a soul connection for raising humanity and political leaders. And at the time, I thought that we can use foundations products. And I really thought it's just, we put everything on your shoulder and that's the least we can do with our souls. And like the Brazilians, beautiful work of Brazilians, I just wanted to that we copy that. And then I proposed it also. I let people know that every night at 9 o'clock European time, we collect our souls, and I'm always here. And we just get a moment and collect our souls to raise humanity and the political leaders, that they come to the way of peace. At first, it was just humanity. And the night after, I dreamed vividly that I'm there. People are coming, I'm attending them, I take care of them. In the pelerinage for Karbala, people were coming, newcomers, and the others were taking care of them, washing their feet or giving them drink and things like that. So I was there, and these people are coming, and seemed like to me, maybe like knowledge seekers, which are with me in connecting soul. And there was like one of them who had kidney problem, you know what I mean? And I asked him to wash himself, to take a shower, and he was refusing shyly. And then I wake up, I was tired of all this activity. And then I asked the knowledge seeker who were close, I said, and anybody has kidney problem? You know, those I thought they are with me at 9 o'clock. And today I found that it was probably my own father, but didn't look like my father. But that's the only body I can see in this image. Just before he died, he had also problem of kidney, of course, a heart attack. Can it be possible that in my just letting myself sincerely in the whole space, I got to the other souls and dead people, and that my father could change his face? because that was for another goal. I was not connecting my father. When I connect him in my prayers or I'm in dream, I see him like he was. But this time, today I found that it might be my father. He was shying and away. And is it possible that he changed his look because he thought he's not supposed to be here? It's a bit complicated. I just like to find the mysteries of how we can go. And then I changed the way I was doing, and I put it just to raise the soul of all souls, to be more confirmed with other uses, and also political leaders to the way of peace. So it's lighter now. So do you think it's why do that person maybe change his appearance, his look, and why I was feeling like I received people, and it was work. It was hard work.
This is all what we can translate to our own condition, not necessarily what the reality is. And we always look at everything from our perspective, point of view. And maybe in it, sometimes we find an answer, sometimes we find a solution. And sometimes we interpret how to suit us in what we know. And this is the secret about what we envisage in our own lives. Very few people, very few people believe the other way. To put the totality ahead, or to put something ahead of themselves, to be, to bring, to change, or to carry the information to bring a change. And this is part of physical life. We don't have this problem in the dimension of the soul. You see, in a physical life, you get into the car, you go from A to B. And then whoever is at the point B has to accept it because you arrived. You go to the supermarket, they got to accept because you arrived at the supermarket, because there are other people and you find your way to do. In a dimension of the soul, you use different strength to move around. And when you do that, everybody has to accommodate you. Because there is no point, no spot in the whole of the creation which is without fields. So somebody has to give for somebody to take. Somebody has to move to do to a position. It's very much, I always go back to beautiful job of brick with all the magnets on the table. If you have 20 magnets and one is on the north, the ones on the south don't move, but you can move the north and you see the one on the east move a little. But if you come to the one in the south, it'll move. And the one in the north doesn't need to move. But we don't see the movement of the both ends because it's so minute, because everybody has to agree with it. And this is the beauty of understanding the work of the creation. This is to understand the cycle of creation. You go to the dimension of physicality because it's comfortable for you. But if you go into the dimension of the soul, it brings those changes for you. And this is what you need to learn. And this is, if you look at the teaching of the recording of this morning, I asked the couple to reach the parents. One wanted a flag. Sorry, flag is not on the move, but both of them wanted connection with the mother because they have that emotional connection with the mother. They know the mother is suffering, and the mothers received the message because they went through the soul. Sorry, the flag company was closed today. And this is how it'll be. You want to reach the soul of a world leader, but can you be as cruel as him toward the matter of your people? Or can you give enough to him that he finds ashamed to be in the body of man? And this is what the future holds. This is what we have to decide, siphon which one is for us and which one is not for us, and which one with it we can do better for the others, not for us. Any other question?
Thank you very much.
For us. You're welcome. You're welcome. You got to look at it the other way. You know how many families in Russia are suffering now? How many under the name of a soldier are dying in Ukraine? How many have escaped not to be killed and they left their family, the children, the mothers and fathers, to be across somewhere that they don't want to get involved in killing another? We look at it, but we don't want to understand it. Haven't we seen this before? Called the Vietnam War, where Americans refused to take up arms and escaped to Canada and Mexico, and some went to prison for it. But they would not kill another man. The name has changed from US to Russia. Those who refuse to take up arms. And what did we change in the world leaders to change that position? Because in the next few years, there will be another country in the same position. Why do we see armed Palestinians on the street of Iran killing people? Because they get paid good salaries. None of the people killed in Iran are killed by the hand of Iranians. Why do we have this in other parts of the world? Why do we have the animosity and the problem we have in Palestine? Why do we have Palestinians in Iran killing people? If you would have given them a nation and say, would they do such a thing? What is the next? Which country is going to be in the hands of revolution in the next few months when there's a hunger and shortage of energy, or something else in Europe, if we get to that point? Some people walk with a gun, some walk with a voting. We saw in Italy why people have voted the far right to get rid of the partners or blame everybody on the partners. Now the situation is tight. It's the same policy, just different shape of using the power. A world leader has to create the right condition for all the people in that nation. And this is what we don't have in our world leaders. Maybe it's the time to end up the leadership and collectively we did ourselves to a new base. Any other question?
I know you want to wrap things up. Do a couple more things. John Wells has a question here. What information do you have, Mr. Keshe, about the material I sent you 2 weeks ago through Telegram? If you want to reveal anything. Sounds very mysterious.
No, I cannot. I don't even remember. I get hundreds of thousands of messages around the world every day. And suddenly,
perhaps he can resend it or remind you if it's urgent.
If it is, I don't understand. Just fake news. Yeah, I put that as a fake news. I just looked at it. I put it down as a fake news. Next question.
Okay. The other thing is, I wanted to tell people about the event coming up that you're supposed to be talking at.
Where?
Maybe you don't know yet.
I've
This is
seen
the-
something. Is that on
the-
Saturday the 8th something?
Yes, Saturday the 8th. That's right, exactly. So this is the
Do you know
Biomed
this?
Expo.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know this guy organizes it and put me in there without asking me?
No.
He's
Put
the
you in the
fourth on
number one position, the top left there, Professor Mayran Kesh.
Yeah, he's done that a few times, and he just calls and he cannot organize himself. He's worse organized than the Keshe Foundation when it comes to this thing. But
Maybe he just liked your nice suit and tie and looked really good in the top left corner there.
no, I know what you're
I
talking
think they
about.
want you. They definitely want you there. So to let people know, that's on, like you said, Saturday, October 8th. And I believe it's from 7 to 8 p.m. Central European time. Does that sound correct to you?
I don't know. I received this from Knowledge Seekers. He's never told me. I can't remember. But it's one of those guys who does this.
I'm told it's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. So since you're 9 hours ahead, due to my calculations say it'll be 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. CEST time. I believe that's correct. Correct and
We don't
still
know.
standing corrected. And there's a link to join the webinar. I can put that in our chat here so that people have that. And we'll make an announcement to spread that around as well.
This guy doesn't know. Don't forget, we used to participate in a lot of things like this and a lot of interviews. And since at an astounding situation, we are very wary of who we give talk or where we give a talk to, and we curtailed it very, very strongly to more or less zero on public, accepting public presentations and that kind of thing. Curtailing this was important because we noticed that these people have other intentions. But this one, the guy is just what I call a space freak. I know he wants to go to planet Zeus.
Seems that way. Okay, so and people can go to biomedexpo.com, all one word, biomedexpo.com. And if they want more information, and you can also register if you want to take in all 4 days with all these people. And that costs, I think, $99 US for the 4 days. But the one event will be free for people to go into the Zoom webinar, as far as I know.
Yep. No, we know about this. It's part of why we are very careful, extremely careful who even we bring into foundation now. It's because we found out that a lot of people coming in using especially the groups to get access and then trying to what I call butter their way into other things to get access to a vast network of the Keshe Foundation. And now we're becoming why we've seen even people commercializing shareholdings and that kind of using the chats, and we're putting them down very rapidly. And other aspects of child abuse and everything else as we saw. Well, very soon, because now is some legality to it, very soon we'll open why Keshe Foundation has become so closed in the past 2-3 years. Unfortunately, we found out that one of the biggest pedophile organizations in the world was using the Keshe Foundation, merging others together using the inner connections of the Keshe Foundation. And this matter now is in the hand of the courts. How the Keshe Foundation was used who people who infiltrated it as even in the education section of the Keshe Foundation. And they were backing themselves up after we put Alain Standing in prison. They found another way to get in, which we stopped it 2 years ago. And that's the reason we don't give that much interviews. We get a lot of requests for presenting the technology. This way is better for us. Knowledge comes from the people who search for the knowledge. Then we're going out and trying to bring and inform people of the knowledge. They'll find it out themselves. And one of the biggest pedophile organizations in the world, on the back of Alain Standing, infiltrated the Keshe Foundation. And the matter now is with the courts, and then we'll open up once the court case is complete. How they've used us giving interviews, us bringing people as even teachers, pretending to be teachers, to get access to the database of the Keshe Foundation. It's amazing how things are done, but we learn ourselves. And this is, I think, is the only interview or presentation I give once a year to this guy or twice, because it's an international structure in US. Anyway, we'll keep you in the picture very soon. What's going on?
Mr. Kesh, just last thing about satellite people who come for satellite or other enhancement. I imagine, do you have a place for people who want to do it privately without others not knowing they're there?
What do you mean?
Like maybe people who want to come to be satellite, or they want to...
Satellite, you don't come to Linz. Satellite people, you stay in your own country. You don't need to travel. Those who come from transmutation, they come to Keshe Foundation, Linz. Satellites, you stay put in your homes. We use your structure in a different way. The mobile, people who sign for mobile, we try to move you from your place into Linz. It's a different application, different participation.
And has to be, the person has to fill the application and...
Yes. It's exactly the same. You want to be satellite, you still have to register, you still have to pay the fees. If you're, what do you call, mobile, it's the same. And if you come to Linz, now the team in Linz have gone two ways. We have the people who come from transmutation. We have some people in the past applied to just do the, to be part of the trial test of the simulation. We have separated a couple of days to complete those, but each one is different. But we need a lot of satellite people. It's just strengthening the change.
Or maybe some people.
Pardon?
Please continue.
We're setting up, in a way, we are looking for ambassadors of peace. In a way, we are looking for the structuring, the opening of a new dimension. It's not that you become just to be there. We are looking for people who volunteer their soul to spread. When the time comes in the near future, then what comes from us to them to their own language, translation, and people. You will understand very soon. We can do that with all the souls of humanity, Mongo. But as it goes by culture, language, and whatever, we have to change the ingrain of the man. And this is the only way it can be done. You had enough messengers. None of them managed to do it. This time, we do it through the message of the soul directly from man. We need hundreds and hundreds of satellites people. And it's the same with the people. With those who volunteer for mobile, is for us developing technology. There's no other participation in it. But satellite people become like the members of Universal Council. They become the arm length of them in a way once it's completed. It's something you need to accept to be part of and commit yourself to it.
Yes, and for example, in enhancement units, is it some people may need some more time? They're in middle of something. Do they have to cut after 30 minutes or something?
We don't do that. It's just that with the enhancement unit, especially with the transmutation, we spend 1, 2, 3 hours doing things. Is when you come in for transmutation, is for us to perfecting our system, understanding our own system, understanding the limitation of. When you, as I said to a couple of our knowledge seekers who came in for transmutation, next time when they come, please get a train and come to Linz. Do not come in the car. Get a bus or get a plane. Don't drive to Linz, because if you came by what do you call it, transmutation, we send you back, or people who come to us for testing transmutation, as part of it, we'll send you back. Your car stays behind. What do you want us to do with it? Man creates a lot of debris. In the next few weeks, we'll get to that point.
Very interesting.
Where you got to understand it's hidden in our work a lot. Like today, you listen to the wishes of the two beautiful women there, that they send a wish to their mom, and the mom received it. The next time the wish is, I want to be home with mom, but I'm in Linz. There are reasons we do this test. It's not just we done a test and mom wished and they wished and the mom. Now they know the location, they know the number. Next time we create a facility, they can go to mom cooks a dinner, they can bring it back to Linz and they can share it with the brother and sister. And this is what we gave to the Americans in the coordination of the peace. When we suggested to the Americans the 5+1 talk originally, Obama, was give us an object, we deliver it, you'll get someone in Iran who knows your work, and then they you give us a signed paper, we deliver it for you to the White House. And the Americans knew there was no joke. So we need people for the things we put up. Satellite people have got nothing to do with the mobile. If you sign for a mobile, that's a mobile. You sign for a satellite, is a job for life. You volunteered to support the humanity to after change. You're a satellite, you spread to those who understand your strength of your knowledge, the strength of the soul in the language. There's a very clear cut between us. I know a lot of knowledge. So I don't want a mobile, I want to be a satellite. But can I understand what each one stands for? You can sign in for a satellite and a mobile. It's not one or the other. You can come in, test and then go back. We have people who are volunteering their family that they want to be on a satellite or a mobile.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
It's the same with now with process which we have started in Germany with Parkinson. The results are amazing. Is done by the doctors, knowledge seekers who are expert in it, and they accept the responsibility of changing to bring that change. And they take that condition up as doctors and they bring the change, adding the knowledge to it. But they are the satellites of what they call their own, what they call the knowledge of the medicine. And we try to expand these positions. Very soon, Keshe Foundation will be in Uruguay as one of the major medical centers in South America. And everything is done for it. And we deliver, and then we process the same.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
this
very much.
opportunity.
I tried to end the questions, Mr. Keshe, but there are a couple that should be answered. Perhaps Steph is wondering when she comes to do the transformation before to visit the other unit to fly to the moon or some other place, is it the same unit and are they different units, and can she choose to do both on
What do you
one day?
mean?
I guess the
Who?
Steph, I believe it is, S with a heart here in our chat,
Yeah.
in the Q&A.
What does it say?
As far as I can tell, is it possible, she says, the German lady, is it possible when I come for the transformation to visit the other unit to fly to the moon? Are they the same unit or are they different units? And can I choose to do both on one day?
It can be done, but you have to register for it, and we have to set the systems up for it. And if you're going to moon, you have to already set it up with us by now. That we know. People just come in and say, can you take me? It's not a, what do you call, taxi service.
Okay, she can settle that out in the background, I guess.
Yeah. What's the other question?
From Miguel, who asks, what can we do to join the Keshe Foundation Manufacturing Arizona?
At the moment, there is no plan for it for the time being, for the next few weeks. We're working on part of the program, which is the larger scale of it, and then John will announce it to all our operation manufacturing in Arizona will be done through Markway. If Keshe Foundation decides, and when it goes into operation of manufacturing, goes through our licensing, which is done with Markway. Markway Corporation, which is a stock market holding, which we already announced the licensing of it. Any production will go through Markway, and it will become one of the largest corporate management groups in the US once we start working on it.
Okay, along sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
Because even Markway is a stock market company. If you go on a panel of it, it says one of the influential people in the company is my name. And as a holder of the intellect, we do all operation to, as we have given license and it's in public, or operation manufacturing will go through Markway Corporation as they have been licensed to, and they have issued appropriate documents and it's been accepted by the stock market. We will, once we decide to go, we'll make Markway one of the biggest corporations in history of the United States. You have to understand it's not a claim, it's the reality, because if you look at it, like Microsoft just covers the computers. If you look at the other companies, they cover, let's say, agriculture or medicine or whatever. Keshe Foundation is a multifaceted organization. And when we give this kind of licenses to Markway, it covers all aspects of the application of the technology, be it the space, be it water technology, be it agriculture, be it medicine, be it material. All will go under the license corporation of the what we call Markway. We own 1.6 billion shares in the corporation, as in public knowledge. And accordingly, US corporation, once our beautiful partner John decides as the CEO of the company, will go that way. And it's set up to go that way. He heads as one of the most, what I call, appropriate people and correct people to run such operation for what the changes to come. Will finance through Keshe Foundation the operation of the loan agreements to Markway, and is a public knowledge. We have given a license to Markway in the US, and all operation will run through this organization once we decide to move on. And we hold 97% sharing controls, and we will apply the same stuff. Markway will become part of the industrial, what we call revolution for us in the US.
Okay, perhaps one last question along those same lines. Is there a center with a shop in London for the Keshe products?
No, but is on the plan. Is on the plan to come up. We are looking at it. We have partners in this program, and he's an expert in this job. And very soon, as I said, part of what I said a few weeks ago, that I'll be in the UK, is this structure which is getting set up by him. Any other?
I think we should let you go at this point, Mr. Keshe, so you can get some rest.
Thank you very much. Sorry, a bit of plucking nose. I've got a very bad deep cold for a few days. But it's the end part of it, the back end of it, we're coming out of it. Thank you very much for today. And as I said, please go on the Keshe Foundation today. Don't wait for tomorrow. And register to become a satellite. We've done enough. We will have enough people to go to the next step as we completing. We need a few more people for transmutation in lens, but the satellite people are those which really bring the light into humanity. And we need as many as that is understood by our cultures and what we call path of life around the world. Don't wait one day. That one day has come. It's got today, and it's got to be done as fast as possible. Thank you very much for today. Hopefully we'll see each other next week. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you very much for another Knowledge Seekers workshop here. This has been the 453rd Knowledge Seekers workshop here on Thursday, October 6, 2022. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I'd like to also note that we have the public meeting for testimonials coming up on Monday, October 10th. And people are welcome to bring their testimonials of the plasma technology and share some of those experiences. And it'd be nice if you have a video or a picture to share as well. And that starts at the 8 p.m. Central European time. Okay, I think that's all for now. Okay, thank you everyone, and we'll see you in the next public teaching workshop.